The silence speaks. I walk the line where the lost souls seek, with whispers of hope and a guiding light. I'll search the dark, bring the truth to light. I'm a seeker of the unseen, bridging worlds where the heart has been. With every heartbeat, every tear, I'll find the way, I'll draw you near. Through the echoes of the past I tread, unlocking stories of the words unsaid. With every vision I'll stand my ground. In the name of love, the lost will be found. I'm a seeker of the unseen, bridging worlds where the heart has been. With every heartbeat, every tear, I'll find the way, I'll draw you near. Hope is fading, I won't let go. I'll be your compass, your guiding glow. Together we'll break through the darkest night. For every lost soul, I'll bring back the light. I'm a seeker of the unseen, bridging worlds where the heart has been. With every heartbeat, every tear, I'll find a way, I'll draw you near. I'm a seeker of the unseen, bridging worlds where the heart has been, where the heart. With every heartbeat, every tear, I'll find the way, I'll draw you near. Draw you near. Through the echoes of the past I tread, unlocking stories of the words unsaid. With every vision I'll stand my ground. In the name of love, the lost will be found. Through the echoes of the past I tread, unlocking stories of the words unsaid. With every vision I'll stand my ground. In the name of love, the lost will be found. Through the echoes of the past I tread, unlocking stories of the words unsaid. With every vision I'll stand my ground. In the name of love, the lost will be found. When hope is fading, I won't let go. I'll be your compass, your guiding glow. Together we'll break through the darkest night. For every lost soul, I'll bring back the light. When hope is fading, I won't let go. I'll be your compass, your guiding glow. Together we'll break through the darkest night. For every lost soul, I'll bring back the light. In the shadows where the silence speaks, I walk the line where the lost souls seek. With whispers of hope and a guiding light, I'll search the dark, bring the truth to light. I'm a seeker of the unseen, bridging worlds where the heart has been. With every heartbeat, every tear.
Whispers float in empty halls, footsteps echo down the walls. Shadows break where secrets lie. Every echo holds a hidden sign. Blow the trace along the crime, a hush that haunts the night, a fear that lives in light. Unravel lines of twisted lies. In the dark, the story waits unseen.
And here we go.
Oh, hey guys, so I'm not going to be on here super long today, but there was some things I wanted to bring up and discuss that I found out. I was hoping Tracy would do this with me today, but I haven't heard from her today, so I don't know if she's sleeping or what. So we might do another live with her because she has some of her own ideas about some things. So yeah, say hi so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself here. Let's see. Some interesting things I want to talk about that actually kind of some mind-blowing things that happened the last couple days that I'm like, what the heck? Because it shows we have 15 people here, but I don't see nobody in the chat. So can you guys say hi unless you're lurking? I don't need any lurkers in here. Yeah. So I wanted to do a live today. It's not, like I said, it's not gonna be that long. I just wanted to kind of discuss some things that have come up recently. and whatnot on Nancy and some other cases. Hello, Tara. I know. That's what I'm saying. We got 15 people and like one person saying hi. Since I gotta try to do some other things later. Hello. Yes, say hi. Let's be a community. Let's not lurk. Hey, Kathy. No lurking. Don't be shy. Say hi. I should make that a shirt. It's saying. So, a couple ways to support me in the channel is there are now some downloads that you can get through the PayHip store. Hello, Rosemary. That I made just for you guys. So a couple of them have journals and meditations, and then some help prompts and whatnot. So one is like a soul reset. That one's only a mini bundle. I'm gonna make a more in-depth one. I have a couple of pet loss meditations. I'm actually going to make an in-depth pet loss healing thing. I wanted to try to get started on that today if I can. I'm pretty tired today, so that is available, or that will be available. And then I have opening your intuition. That's a mini intuitive learning bundle. And I still have the group. I have 2 people coming to the group. That's going to be June 20th. We moved the date up to give people more time. I'm allowed 10, so I'm allowed another 8 people. Basically, it's going to be a fun night of reaching the Akashic records and then doing readings. Everybody will get a reading of their choice. So I did post that on the community page, but it is also in the PayHip. If you want to join that way, it's a lot easier. Just email me after you join. I want to make it kind of worth the circle. I wanted to give people a chance to get a reading without paying full price and kind of have like a community spiritual feel. Since I don't really like to do spirit leds, this is kind of like my version of what I'm wanting, what I do and how my gift works. So if you're wanting to join that, all these ways help me because things are a struggle right now. And that's why you haven't seen much of me on true crime, is I'm having to do other things. But I do like the digital products because they're things that you guys, they're what do you call it, affordable, and they're helpful. And I'm going to eventually have a basically one for women that are emotionally drained and all of this. So keep your eyes out for those things because I truly want to help the best way that I can. Anyways, so the reason why I wanted to do this live today is there's a few things came up, and again, I wanted to do it with Tracy, but she's not answering me, so I don't know what's going on with her today. So hopefully we might do another one. So this is kind of like just a pop-up live about what's been going on. So I don't know if I want to start talking about it yet until we give people a chance, because I don't want to repeat myself, but I guess they can always rewind. So the thing about Nancy's case is, honestly, with location, I kind of feel like it's blocked. The only thing that I continue to see is her in a dark place, and I'd wondered about a freezer because it keeps coming up in the EVP. Cold and freezer keeps coming up. Could it be another case? It could be, but it kind of matches what I feel and see as being contained. Now, until I get a location or something specific, I don't want to lead anybody on a wild goose chase, and I don't want to go on wild goose chases. But there's some interesting things that I did come across. So I don't know if you guys remember, I mentioned it on a live a while ago that I had a dream about a golf course, and it was East Sabino golf course specifically. And so I marked it on my map, and I was looking over there, and I was like, why did I dream of the East Sabino golf course? Now, and this is all alleged. So I didn't really think that Nanos was all that involved. I was hoping he wasn't. However, that's where he lives. So why am I dreaming of a golf course? And I didn't know that. I dreamed of this, 2 months ago? After Nancy went missing, like in February. I just found this out like day before yesterday, that that's where he lived. I had told you guys about it in the live. I had marked it on the chat. But hold on, my dog has my shoe. 1 second, because Justice is a pain in the butt. Justice, my shoe. Where did you get that? I don't know if you got that anyways. So I kind of found that weird. That why would I dream of a golf course that is exactly that he lives on? And I didn't know about it until yesterday. So that kind of blew my mind a little bit when I asked Tracy exactly where the golf course was. And she was like, "Oh, it's East Sabino." I was like, "You got to be freaking kidding me. Do you remember the dream I had?" So that kind of blew my mind. Right. Then yesterday I had to take Neptune up to the vet in Tucson for his beak trim. And on the way back, now I don't know if you guys remember back in the day in the very beginning, I was getting a reference to fairgrounds, and I wasn't really sure why I was getting a reference to fairgrounds. I can't believe you guys aren't blown away by what I just told you. Like, there's nobody chatting. You guys gotta chat. Come on, make me feel like I'm talking to myself. Maybe I should have waited to have Tracy do this. Anyways, so a while ago when I first started this, if you guys remember, I was getting that reference to that area, right? But I wasn't really sure where it was, where the fairgrounds were. It looks different, completely different on a map. Like, I wasn't sure how to get there or anything. I wasn't sure why I was getting it, because I feel like Nancy's close. Because again, when I asked EVP specifically, it said close. The astrology points to close. Like, it doesn't feel like she's far. I always feel like I'm leaving her, etc. So yesterday I'm driving back from Tucson, and I have my map on because I need it sometimes to get out of Tucson. And it's like, here, take this Rita Road and go down it, and it's 7 minutes faster, which I don't understand why it's 7 minutes faster, because yes, there's construction on the freeway, but the freeway was moving. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to listen to my GPS, and I'm going to get off on Rita Road and go down that way. So I get off on Rita Road, and I'm like, man, it's pretty desolate out here. This is kind of weird. Well, it took me to the fairgrounds. And what do I see going to the fairgrounds? A sign that says Sheriff Chris Nanos. And I'm on the phone with Tracy at the time, and I'm like, I have no idea why it took me this way, because I'm looking at the freeway from here, and it looks like it's moving pretty fast. And well, there's more involved than just him. So I've done several readings on it. You'd have to go back and watch, because I first got the first ping in the live when someone asked me about it. So before there was a narrative, right? So I'm like, well, this is weird. Like, it literally. So now I've had a dream of where this guy lives. Now I'm being taken randomly by where the sheriff's office is, and it happens to be by the fairgrounds. I don't know if anybody thinks that that's freaking weird, but it's weird to me. It was kind of like, what the heck is going on? Tracy's like, well, maybe you needed to go that way because you were wanting to know about the fairgrounds. Now, it's very desolate out there, extremely desolate. Not saying that's where she's at, because again, I feel like she's contained and dark, and I don't think she's accessible. That's how it feels to me right now at this point, until I get something that tells me otherwise. I've never had a case where I can't see surrounding area. I can only see it from her perspective. It's very weird to me. There might be some kind of protection spell on it. I don't know. But or it could be the astrology. I'm not really sure. All I know is I'm used to seeing terrain, how to get there. I'm able to remote view her. I just see from where she's in. Like, I can't see out. So, well, that's what I'm saying, is like, the sheriff's office is by that I didn't know when I first got it, when I first got the fairgrounds. But the fact that I dreamed of where he lived, the exact golf course, and they told me East Sabino in my dream with the golf course. I had dream of golf courses all night, and I didn't understand why. Well, I think part of it had to do with Bella, because these cases seem to interconnect a little bit, and there's some similarities with the name and all of that. And so literally I had a dream of where he lives, and now I'm being led to by the sheriff's office. And I know a lot of people think he's involved. I don't know. I just think that that's kind of freaking odd, and it really blew my mind a little bit because I'm like, well, I'm asking Tracy, I'm like, literally, because she knows he's corrupt. She's looked into him, all of that allegedly, and she has her own thoughts and feelings on it. That's why I said when she's around, I'll try to get her to come live and talk to you guys about it. But she has her opinions on this kind of stuff, on what's going on, what we feel is going on. She can explain it a lot better because she's done the research. I'm just the psychic, she's the researcher. So yeah, it was weird the fact that in February I had a dream of his exact like where he lives. We didn't know that. I just marked it. I didn't know why. And I was looking around golf courses because I was dreaming about it. And then yesterday I'm randomly taken by where he worked. And it had to do with the freaking where the fairgrounds, right? So it's very weird to me, and the fact that him and T both golf a lot. I have a hard time thinking that they can't be, that they're not buddies. I don't know. I just kind of feel like they are. And so there was some other things that kind of came in. I don't know if you guys saw. So every time Noah comes in the EVP, I'm like, okay, Noah Presgrove, right? Because I worked that case. The kids really got like here, right? And he tends to come in. He came in when I went to Tombstone, and so I'm telling, I don't know if you guys saw the EVP that I turned on during the call with Chris with that Allen guy. Now the Allen guy was getting like the weirdest feeling, like the creepy feeling, almost like he might know information. I'm not saying he's involved, but he might know something, because the way he was talking was like, I know this for sure, and all you guys are wrong. And that was really weird to me. And a lot of what he was saying, he would change his story, like they didn't add up. So that's why I decided to turn on the AVP. And there were some interesting things that came in that AVP if nobody's paid attention. So one thing that it said was Noah's house. Now Noah has come in again a few times. I'm like, okay, Noah's house. Well, that's weird. I'm gonna hang on to that because I don't understand it. Later on in the EVP, it says moon, but it sounds like my voice, and it's like moon. I'm like, I didn't say that. I know I didn't say that, right? So rewinding back to when I was in Tucson, up from Nancy's house, I don't know if you guys, some people that were on live here, maybe recognize that I stopped at a house that was being constructed on down the street from her, and I said I felt weird there. The next day, FBI went there. Well, we found out that this guy Don Bourne does a lot of construction things around there, and he works on this house. He's working on this house. Well, there's a Noah that works for him. Okay, that's Seuss. But what's more Seuss is that Noah's house is on Gleaming Moon. What? Weird again. And guess where his house is off of? Roller Coaster Road. Where do I keep going? Roller Coaster Road. Now there's a wash over there. When I originally was thinking she could be somewhere like that is by Roller Coaster Road. Like I went back and forth to that same area multiple times. On the map, that's where I've kind of been stuck at, is that area. So again, weird coincidences. The fact that they said Noah's house and moon, and Noah lives on a gleaming moon. It's not a house that looks like she could be in, but I don't know. Unless there's another Noah that we don't know that's involved in another house. But just weird that moon came in and it's off of gleaming moon. I don't know. Yeah, so we're thinking that there's multiple strings here. Okay, it could be that Nancy found out that some money was going somewhere it shouldn't have been going, via people that were taking care of her. And like again, Tracy can describe this a little bit more, right? So now we've connected these dots, and I'm like, what the hell? So I had this thought in my mind: would Nanos have like one of his little criminals, if he is corrupt, come and like cover this up, make it look like a kidnapping or whatever? That's a possibility. I know. And so and it's interesting because they have said, I'm going to go through and I'm going to take the EVPs and I'm going to edit all the times they say Tommaso, Thomas, Tom, Tommy, Red Tom. it's like 15 times, and it's coming in now. And every time I do the EVP, it comes in multiple times. I don't know if you guys saw there. Now there could be another Thomas too, because they said Thomas twice. And Thomas would be the guy that's involved in Bella's case too. So that's why it's a little confusing, because there's 2 cases I'm working on that have the same name. But Annie also was mentioned twice in that EVP that I did during that conversation. So I thought that was kind of weird that they mentioned Annie and Tommaso twice in that. There's some other names that they mentioned too. But yeah, so we're just wondering, there's some connections here that Tracy has made that she can explain a lot better in terms of what we kind of feel it was about. Like, we honestly feel like, because Nancy she was involved in a lot of donating to different things and stuff like that. Maybe her donations were going somewhere they weren't really supposed to, and she found out about it. That's kind of where Tracy's going with it, which can make sense, because the organization is not a good organization. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. But I'm just wondering, I mean, that thought kind of just came in my head. Like, did he just kind of like get one of his little minions or somebody to like come and help with this? I don't know. It's kind of weird. So it seems like there's more involved than just a kidnapping and a cover-up, or cover-up kidnapping. I think it's a cover-up. There's no kidnapping indicators in the astrology. I went over this a few times. It's not coming, and that's not what I got before there was a narrative. So all of those connections are very weird. So another thing was, and like, as you guys know, like, I don't like to work with YouTubers. I don't like to work with other people. I vary to myself, but sometimes I think, maybe they know things that I don't know from being around in the area or talking to people, etc. Right? So I reached out to one person, and he sent me to another person. And I asked this other person, I said, do you know a lot about the houses up there in the area and stuff? Because there's some, I need to be taken around to these different houses to see if I feel anything, or these different areas to see if I feel anything. It's harder when I'm driving, and it's harder where I don't really know completely where I'm going. And I tried to explain to him, I'm not God, I can't promise anything. I just need to see if I feel anything. Because over on Roller Coaster Road, I felt sick before. I know that I can feel things. It just depends on how strong the energy is. Unfortunately, Nancy's energy feels very blocked off. I haven't been able to truly channel her, other than what the visions that I've gotten since from the beginning, right? I might try to do something to see if I can help with that, but I don't know. So I'm gonna have to probably get off here soon, because it seems like it's getting ready to rain and thunder lightning. So when I reached out to him, because I know that there's a lot of different psychics doing a lot of different things on this, and sending people in a lot of different directions, and that's just the way that it is sometimes. Especially in this case, I've noticed that everybody's getting something different. Crap. And so I said, I know that there's a lot of people that say a lot of things. I am okay sending you, like, basically my resume, my links of resume, like my accuracy, the cases I've worked, etc. Like, I like to have that to send to people, because we're not all the same. There's a lot of people out there that are sending people in all different directions, right? And I don't want to do that. So he's like, okay, send me the links. So I send him the links, and he's like, all right, I believe you. Okay, cool. Now this is where the jacked up part gets, and like, I felt cool about the guy. Like, I don't know. So I told him I'm on my way, because I have to do it on a day that I can go out there. And so I kind of like went spur of the moment, couldn't afford to, especially right now, did it anyways. Thank you to a few people that helped. And so I go out there, and he's like, oh, maybe we do it a different day, blah, blah. I was like, no, dude, I already told you I was coming out here. So he meets me, we have a conversation, and like I have Zook with me. I don't go anywhere without my dog because I'm a woman alone. I'm not taking a dog. I'm not walking around a neighborhood without a dog because incognito, right? And I'm telling him, like, this doesn't need to be live. I don't need to be recorded. I don't want to be recorded in front of Nancy's house because now they've got cameras. I don't need anybody to know what the hell I'm doing or where I'm at. Period. That's why you guys a lot of times don't know if I'm looking into something unless I'm ready to tell you. That's the way investigations should be ran. They shouldn't be like on live showing everywhere that they're going. Well, they can show, but not they don't have to tell it, right? Because hello, you don't know who's watching. So I don't think he really liked that very much. So they didn't want to be live stream and it want to be on video because that's kind of what they do. And remember, he said he believed me. Okay. So I understand he didn't want to put the dog in his car. That's fine. He could have taken my car. I told him to drive my car. It's fine. He didn't want to drive my car around. And I told him, I need to go to different places. Like, I don't just need to go to one place. I need you to take me to a few different spots. I'm not going to walk 5 miles. Like, and I thought that he knew because I was told, oh, yeah, I know, no problem. He knew of 2 places, and they're all by Nancy's. And he made me walk. He didn't want to drive the car. I don't know why he felt weird about it. You can look online and see who I am. I'm not trying to set anybody up. He went on his live later. I saw it today because I'm cool if he mentions whatever. But he made a big deal about, okay, I'm just think we're just trying to fill each other out, is what he said. And I didn't want, because I told him, it's not like he's driving me to Vegas. Like, we're driving around a neighborhood. We're not driving down, in the city. I'm not worried about it in the neighborhood. But I don't want to walk. Like, it was getting ready to get dark. I can't get anything done. So it's basically a wasted trip because I didn't get to get anything done. I didn't get to go where I wanted to go. He didn't know what I thought he knew. And he's telling his audience, well, I don't know if I believe in mediums. I don't know how I believe in it. But he just told me he believed me. I just sent him the proof of all my Idaho 4 hits and all my hits that I've had, where people have been found, Dylan and Quentin and all that. So I don't think that's really going to work out because if I'm going to work with you, I got to have your trust. I know that it's something that has to be built, right? But you can't just tell me you believe me and then go and tell everybody else you're not sure that you do. And then say, well, we didn't really get anything done because of me. Like, had a vehicle, could have drove it around, whatever. So that is what it is. I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on with that, but I ain't trying to be disrespected on a live or been like made to look like I'm crazy because he was making a big deal where I didn't want to be on the live. I don't want to be recorded. I don't want to be in front of Nancy's house. I'm sorry. I don't want Nancy's relatives seeing me walking around their house. I ain't trying to get arrested either because that's what's going on over there. Although there was a hot sheriff that maybe I might have wanted to get arrested by. So, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I got a Jeep, right? He could have drove the Jeep, and it's a nice neighborhood. It's not a big deal. I needed to go where the abandoned houses were. I just need to be driven around the neighborhood where I'm not driving to feel if I feel anything. That's it. But basically, we walked to Nancy's house and walked back, and it's like 2 miles. For basically nothing. You know how many times I've been to Nancy's? Like, I didn't need to walk down there and back. That wasn't the point. Anyways. Not necessarily because Savannah wasn't really around and it could have just happened. Like, she could have just been having a conversation with them. I mean, it is possible, but yeah, no. Yeah, he was, because he actually came and almost arrested Alex, and me and Tracy were like, whoa, come back. You'll have to rewind. No, there's not a major shift or anything. I'm just updating you guys. Like I said, Nancy's case is blocked. It is. I've never had a case where I cannot see a location. Just put it to you like that. Tells me she's contained somewhere. And EVP keeps mentioning freezer. I'm joking, Alice. I'm joking. I've been single for 13 years. Not like I'm looking for anybody. It's a joke. It's a joke. So yeah, he kind of made me sound like a crazy medium, and I don't like that. Like, if you choose to work with me, you tell me you believe me, then you got to tell everybody else you believe me. He could have said, well, I saw her work and she's legit. Do you know what I mean? Like, he could have said that. Regardless, I think he was nervous because of what people think about it, but that's because there's some, how it is in anything. There's some psychic mediums that give the authentic ones a bad name. That's just how it is. It's like that with doctors, lawyers, anything. Right? So, and that's not saying anybody specific. It's just how it is. And the first guy that I talked to, he was like, well, I've been led by multiple mediums and I've never gotten anywhere. I need something concrete. And I told him, this is why I want to make a video about it. There is never anything concrete in this work. Period. We are not God. We do not know everything. All we can do is try to put the puzzle pieces together. We go by symbols and feelings. And there is a universal law. There is a karmic law. There is timing to everything. So if we're meant to get the information, we will get the information. If we are not meant to get the information, we won't get the information. That's just how it works. Plain and simple. So I tried to explain that to him. And I like to educate people on that because they think that we're these mystical beings that should just be able to walk to like a body. Like, it doesn't work like that. Now, some cases, especially accidents, it's easier because there's nobody else's free will involved, right? And yes, Ashley, we always want to look. That's what that's what we're saying. In Arizona, we have some nice looking state troopers out here and sheriffs and whatnot, and even border patrol. But anyways, I was trying to find out places that maybe I didn't know about or couldn't find. You know what I mean? That was my whole point with trying to get in touch with a YouTuber. If you guys know, like, I was like hiding from JLR, like I didn't want to be on his screen. I was caught a little bit when I walked by Nancy's in the very beginning back a couple months ago. But that's not me. I mean, could I go and sit out and stream and probably not be struggling right now? Yeah, I probably could. But that's not me. I'm in this, I'm in this for the right reason. My whole thing is business connected. Like, I want to do what I can to help Nancy, but only with what I'm given. And I was only trying to get in touch with somebody in case, say, I had a dream or something. Because sometimes I do have GPS dreams. Does it always happen? No. It's happened in specific cases, and they weren't cases I expected it to be. So, with that being said, like I told him, like, we don't need to be live streamed. But I think he thought I was going to set him up. He's like, you don't know. Somebody could set me up. I'm like, dude, I'm a 44-year-old woman, a psychic on YouTube. Like, what am I going to set you up for? It's not like I'm some dude that you're meeting randomly. And fuck yeah, I'm going to bring my dog. Because I'm a woman alone. And like I said, I like to blend in. You know how many times I went to that community and walked around with that dog and people have just talked to me randomly that live there or rolled down their window and told me what a cute dog I have? That's how you blend in. And I ain't walking around with the camera either. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure my car is recognized from the times I have been up. But that's why I haven't been back up there, because I honestly don't know where to look right now. I don't. And so when and if I have a better location, I'll go myself or I'll find somebody else. If I do have something concrete, then I will contact the other person. And I told the other person, I said, he doesn't seem as much into like the drama and stuff as some of them, or recording everything. And he's actually out searching. So I was like, hey, I'm all about business. I'm not hitting on you or anything, but do you want to have a coffee and discuss this? And I can tell you who I am. So you don't think I'm some quack. And this is why it's hard, because you have every psychic in the world contacting these guys and they're going in all different directions. And then therefore they don't want to listen to you when you do have anything. Like, literally you have to pull their teeth and then say, I know for sure, or this is what my background is, which I don't mind doing. That's the whole point of having a psychic resume, in my opinion. So that's that's kind of where I am right now. And then hey waterfall. So that's what it had to do. That's I mean that's what's going on with Nancy's case. Like I said, it's just weird. I dreamed of where he lives, and I ended up by the work yesterday, and the whole thing with the Noah's house and it being off the moon. It's all really weird. And like I tell you guys, a lot of other cases can come in those things. They brought up Ebola. It's coming out. I'm pretty sure that was a new video. Um, and they brought up Albert was driving the word Albert was driving me crazy because I first got it in Elijah. I don't know if you guys remember, I was drawn to this Albert. Well, if you guys know, sometimes I'll be drawn to something and it'll hit a case later. It's been coming in the EVP. It came in the EVP for Lynette. It came in the Spirit Talker the other night. I thought it was my grandpa because Albert was his name. That case that's 40 years old that was just solved off of Albert Street. And Charles, who keeps the name that keeps coming in, I think it came in twice that last EVP that I did, is a perpetrator. So that just goes to show that they do give information of other cases and whatnot. It did say that. She does say that. She says, "Hey, baby girl, what you doing?" And that's all she says because I say it to her all the time, so she knows how to say that. So, yeah. And then this morning I had a weird experience. I'm actually gonna make a TikTok about it and I'm not putting out anybody's name because I was stuck on what to do. But I got back from my mom's. I was scrolling TikTok trying to find, like, as I was doing things, and I ran across a situation where this woman was telling. It's triggered me really bad from my past. She was trying to get her boyfriend or whatever to admit that he had abused her, and she was naming specific times, and like it escalated, and he came back in, and you just know that something happened, and her phone went off, and I was like, what do I do? Like, I can't just sit here. I work true crime. I've been in that kind of situation. Like, what do I do? And I there's absolutely, if you don't know where they live, there's absolutely nothing we can do, apparently, because I reached out to multiple organizations at 5 o'clock in the morning. So that kind of was crappy. So that happened this morning. But yeah. So that's where I'm at. I'm not done working on Celeste. I think I don't think I am. I think I want to pull some cards to validate the channeling I did. I think I want to try to channel Lynette the way that I was, but unfortunately, like I said, without other things being supported that I'm doing, it's hard for me to get on here and do true crime. So that's why I'm putting out the digital bundles that'll help you guys, and offering other things. So, and all that. So that's basically what it is. Like I said, Tracy can explain a little bit more about what she's thinking, but she's thinking it had something to do money wise, like that Nancy realized that money was missing, and Nancy, confronted somebody about it, which is what we've kind of said since the beginning. But she's adding a little bit more. Like, I think that there's like some, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird about the Noah guy. It's weird about the Nanos thing. It's odd to me. You know what I mean? Like, why am I dreaming about his house? Like, I don't know. I was like, well, no, there is corruption, but I don't know if it's that far. But it has to be relevant for me to dream of his house, like where he lives. It has to be relevant. It just does. So, do you guys have any questions? Does anyone wanna? I don't know. We've never done that before. You have people come up and talk about it. Because I don't, without Tracy here, I don't really know what else to say. I just want to update you on those things because they kind of blew my mind, like, literally. Yeah. And I'm telling you, I think he's friends with T. There's just so much stuff that doesn't make sense that makes it like doesn't make sense for like a kidnapping, in my opinion. Um, seriously, that I don't know. So I was just kind of a little mind blown about. Yep, that's her. That's Starlight. She moves her tail like a dog. No. Hey, 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 hey. The heck was that? Why are you freaking out over there? Um, but yeah, that's Starlight, and she doesn't really. She had like a. I don't know like who he's friends with. I know that he went to the University of Arizona. I know he's got a couple degrees. I know that he works in construction with the guy from the house that I stopped at and said I felt weird that we didn't know about yet. Um, Dave Bourne or Don Bourne. Um, I have no idea. Like I said, right now I haven't been shown that. So if it, I think it came up in the cards at one point that there would be justice. I don't know when. Sometimes cases go a long time. The astrology in this is very difficult. This case is blocked. I'm telling you, it's blocked. If anybody says it's not blocked, then I don't know what to say. But this is the first time I've not been able to see a location other than darkness. Like I said, I think she's contained private property. I always get private property. So every single time since the beginning, I pulled a private property card. And again, now the freezer keeps coming up in all the it's came in 3 times now, and I'm cold has came in 3 times. So I think that's kind of weird. Could that be another case? Yeah. But oddly enough, I got freezer in the killing fields, and now that guy got arrested. Like the timing of it's kind of weird. If anybody knows how my like interconnects work, they kind of work on timing sometimes. He does have a brick wall around his house. Yeah, it's like around. It's a community. That's what I'm saying. I don't. It's probably HOA, but it's just it's off a roller coaster road, and it's where I have been like multiple times. Um, it's not too far from A&T's west, kind of like a little bit southwest. I think it's over by a wash over there that I kept going like right at the edge of it. I don't know. It's just kind of odd. Because like I feel like if she was in a wash, I would be seeing more of the terrain, and I can't see the terrain, which is weird. Usually, if they're in water, I get that really clearly from you guys know from my cases. Even Tracy says like you're good at water, you would be getting it. I've been flying blind this whole time because I can't see where she is. So, like I said, everything has timing, so I'll get the information in the time I'm supposed to. And it does no good to do reading after reading after reading after reading and getting the same information and not going any further with it. That's why I always tell people like I'll get pulled back to a case when it's time, when the timing is opening up, when it's time for us to get more information. And unfortunately, right now, I don't feel like it's the time for it completely. But it was time to come back and recognize a few things. Um, so I don't know that if it's coming to light. I'm hoping eventually it will, but unfortunately, like I said, it feels like her case is really blocked right now. In my opinion, it's blocked, or it's not clear. And could that be because someone is protecting with magic? Yes, me and Tracy talked about that yesterday. It can be because somebody is protecting with some kind of magic. Um, you know, knowing what we know about certain people. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I had a GPS stream about Sebastian, but nobody wants to listen on that. So he's in a pond. I don't know if it's the right pond that I'm pointing to, but the map sure matches. So no one wants to listen to me on anything. That's the story of my life. Um, and like I told the guy, does that mean that I'm God and I know everything? Definitely not. Definitely not. This is why I'm very careful about putting out locations and stuff. I try to be because I don't want people going different locations and like location's very hard. It's not simple and it always evolves and yes, you can pick up other cases, and I think that's what happened with the river because there was somebody found in the river, and I'm wondering if that's what we were picking up. But at the same time, I can't. I've been flying blind like this whole time. I've been running off of feelings, but my feelings seem to be accurate because I seem to be ending up at places that are relevant. Like I said, I've ended up at this place multiple times where this guy lives, and I don't know the connection. I just don't. But it could tie back to the HOA in the community. Yeah, look in the household. It's obvious he never left that house. I've done several readings on it. There's playlists for all the stuff that I've worked on. And I called FBI with Summer, well, actually TBI with Summer's location, and nobody's checked it. So, and somebody that I know out there knows exactly where it is. He says it exists, and it's not been checked. So, I mean, there's only so much I can do from where I'm at until somebody wants to listen and actually look. Then I don't, I don't know what to say. I can only do so much, and until somebody is actually goes. I mean, I had a whole GPS stream about it where I put a video out there. I drew a map, and the astrology led to this pond that matches the map. So I mean, it's one of those ponds out there. I think. I mean, I don't know how they would get to it or know about it, but never know. No, it's not. That was like his doppelganger. No, but it wasn't him. And that's why I tell people like whenever somebody says that, oh, I've seen this person or oh, I've seen that, you got to be careful because sometimes people can look like other people, but it doesn't mean that they are. Like remember in Travis Decker when everybody was like, oh yeah, I seen Travis Decker over there at the some other forest, and I'm just like, no, dude. People were coming to me because I said he wasn't alive anymore. Um, and I was kind of like saying kind of where he was, and because I was seeing through his eyes. Travis Decker was a crazy one because I was like connected to following him, and then what happened to him, and then like I could see out of my eyes, like I was seeing through his eyes. It was the weirdest shit, and I could see the terrain, and there was like a trail with like all this brush and stuff, and I was a little bit up high, which was where I think that they kind of found him. And I'm telling everybody like, no, dude, he's not alive. And everybody's like, and I had somebody come to me and they're like, oh, well, they saw him over at this place. You're probably really wrong. And I'm like, oh, really? And then like the next day they're like, oh, that's not him. So everybody loves to come and poke at the psychic and try to tell you you're wrong without knowing anything, or allowing things to happen in the case. Like we got to wait till things come out. So, and they found part of him. So in an area that matches what I described. Like no one understands what I went through in that case. That case was jacked up. that Travis Decker's case was jacked for me. Tracy knows. I had a migraine for days because of him. And I kept seeing through my eyes this trail and this brush and everything, like where he was, but through his eyes. And like finding it on a map was completely different, but I could see it. I didn't think he was far from the location of where he was, but I had a bunch of people coming in trying to say, oh no, he's been seen at the lake and blah, 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 blah. And I don't think he was ever at the lake, but it made me question everything. But that's why you always stick with like your first inkling, your first ping. You don't let people, take you off track, because that's what was happening. People were taking me off track. And, I mean, that's exactly where he was. And Tracy knows I had to have a healer help me get rid of my headache that I had for days on him. Of course, I had stuff going on with the air conditioner, but I still think it was with that, because it started with that. And then the like the pew pew shots that took me out of bed, I think was connected to, I was going to do a video on that because I think it was connected to the guy that was a similar situation. There was a shootout. So, I don't know. Like, things like that are wild when they happen and frustrating at the same time. I mean, I used to be told all the time that like somebody knew me. I'm like, no, you don't. I had like a twin running around in Bakersfield where I used to live because I always get told that I knew, like they knew me and I did not know them. So yeah, it happens. We have doppelgangers and people that look like us, or people that they think that they see people, like again in Travis Decker's situation. So but yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at, unfortunately. Like, as far as anything new about his or her location or anything, I don't really have it. I just, all I know is like between the cards and what I'm getting and what the EVP is saying, it all aligns with some kind of private property, because they've said private property, big property in the back, lift up, shed, garage, it's under, and I have, like I said, seen that she's contained somewhere. But this is the first case I haven't been able to really see. You know what I mean? So I have to wait for that dream. I have to wait for that specific vision. I haven't been able to really even reach her in spirit, which makes it even weirder considering certain visions that I got during the cards. So I'm going to try to do what I did on Celeste for her eventually, maybe, if I can kind of forget what I've already gotten, because that makes it a little harder once you've already done so much work on a case to sit down and channel cleanly. So, I just thought that guy Alan was really interesting because like he seemed to know things, like know things, and everybody else was wrong. And then there was like he was deflecting, but then there was also like he'd say one thing and then say something different later, so it was almost like a lie or not the whole truth. And so that's why I found that kind of interesting. And then like after they deleted his interview, I guess he called Sleuth Intuition and tried to get his like point across, because the thing is in the interview room, the chat had Chris thinking that it was Richard, and so he was interrogating him like that. And I don't think that was. I was almost like he was being led by the chat, which I don't think he should have allowed. And so, but I do know that I think they did contact law enforcement about him, and I think that's maybe why they removed it. So actually, the thing on my EVP is the only thing out there, unless somebody else did it. I haven't seen anybody else have a copy of it, and I only have bits and pieces of it. Trying not to get any kind of copyright or anything, or that they'll tell me to take it down, because hopefully they won't. Yeah, and actually, unfortunately, I'm not able to do as much true crime as I want to, because right now I'm just trying to survive, and I'm going on TikTok to do readings because new clients. I mean, I don't know, but true crime. I don't. There's like my videos aren't being supported. Like this, most people we've had in a live in a long time. My views were really small until that one with the phone call, and still not. It's not enough support to do this as much as I would like to. So that's why I'm trying to come up with other options. So I'm not like basically burning myself out doing reading after reading after reading because it's very energetically draining, because I can't burn myself out doing reading after reading and then come over here and do true crime, which is also very draining. Like I only have so much energy. I'm not a spring chicken. I don't know how people do readings for hours and hours and hours. I can't do that. So I'm like, so that's why I decided to do the digital products to hopefully help support me more so I could do the true crime and help you guys. I want to do things that will help you guys as well, because I'm also learning my spiritual coaching. I'm supposed to have a session today with somebody so I can take my test, and then I want to see if I can skip the healing for the moment and go to past life regression, because people are interested in that. Do the past life regression, then go back to the healing part of it. So, but I want to be beneficial for you guys and also help the channel. Do you know what I mean? Well, that's the problem, is I can't take care of myself, Alice. Like, nobody knows, and I don't like to put it out there, but like I'm like counting pennies, and I know a lot of people are. So, my videos aren't getting watched, liked, all of that. So therefore it's not generating income, so it's not worth it. It's not paying me. You know what I mean? And unfortunately I can't live on air. And that's not why I do this, of course, but I have to have an energy exchange or be able to support the work that I'm doing. Me and Tracy want to do a nonprofit, but I have to come up with the funds to put that in, because you have to turn it into Arizona. We already have our name, like our trademark name, and now it's like $75 to put it into Arizona. So eventually we want to do that so that it's a nonprofit and we can get justice trained and we can get grants and things. Like that's our plan where we want to go with this, because we want to make more of a difference than just doing YouTube readings. Like I actually want to boots on the ground with my dog to find people. Like that's been my dream for 14 years. And this weekend is actually kind of hard. So that's why I think that video, that live was so triggering to me, because my husband passed on the 26th, Memorial Day weekend. So this weekend is always kind of weird for me. And then that was really triggering. And so yeah. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. I would love to do true crime all the time. And, like I said, if the digital things do well, if it's what you guys like, if people join the group, because I'm way behind on everything. Like, then, that helps support this, if that makes sense. If you guys if you can't do that and you like the videos and you comment on the videos and you hype the videos, that also helps the algorithm. So, like I think Celeste's video barely has anything, which is weird because it was like a cool channeling. The EVPs are actually doing better than my readings. So that's why I'm doing them, because it's content and it's also validating my readings. So that's where I'm kind of at right now. And as much as I would love to work all the cases that everybody asked me to do, it's not like something I can just be like, oh yeah, they're right here in the South is. Sometimes it's like that. Like Riley Strain was really easy, but Riley Strain was an accident. So Riley Strain was like, okay, this is where I see him at. The accidents are easier because there's no free will involved. Like there's nobody else's free will putting them somewhere. So those ones are a little bit easy. The walk-offs are a little bit easier. These kind of cases, not easy. Not easy. There goes the REM pod. It's the temperature gauge, though. She's not in Rose Canyon. Richard has nothing to do with it. Even though I got the name Richard and told you guys to pay attention to it, that's just because it was going to come up in the case. And I don't know if he's grounded enough or not. I'm not sure. I don't trust anybody. I just don't, because they'll tell you one thing to your face and then run out. Like I said, like, I'm not talking bad about Juice or anything like that. Like, I'm not talking bad about him, but it was not cool. It just was not cool that, he says, I believe you to me, and then to his audience, it's like, well, I don't know if I believe. Like, I literally just sent you the links that you wanted to prove, like the Idaho 4 and all my accurate hits, to try to prove that to you, not out of an ego space, but to tell you I'm not some quack, that, like, I'm legit. And I also told him, I tried to explain the whole thing about universal law and karma and timing and everything. So that's the thing. If you're gonna say I believe you and be open and have this conversation with me about what I feel happened, etc., then don't go running to your audience and be just like, well, I don't know if I believe, and she didn't want this and she didn't want that. Like, it made me look like, I don't know. But I'm not like a psychic that's trying to be on camera in front of Nancy's house or having people know where the hell I'm walking, you know? I don't want people to know what I'm up to. I let people know if I feel like it's safe to let them know, like if it's not a big deal. But other than that, like, I could live stream myself if that's what I wanted. I don't. I mean, I'll live stream on the way there to tell you guys what I'm up to let you guys know that I'm on my way. But a lot of the times, and like if I'm driving around, a couple times I've done that. But out walking, and I don't even record it because, again, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're either in it and like we're partners, or you're not. And I have a lot of subs that can help your channel, and who cares if some people don't believe it? Say stay away from mediums. They are going off of their experience that might not be, like, we're not all the same. Do you know what I mean? I think that the thing that pisses me off is everybody puts the mediums in one box. And, if there's one inauthentic one, or one that kind of like, isn't accurate or whatever, then everybody else is gauged off of that. So then you have to prove yourself. And it's like, I don't care if you believe me or not, but just don't tell me you do, and then you don't. Like, you really don't. Like, I don't know what else I have to prove to you. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. And why would you think that I'm gonna fucking set you up? Like, literally, I gave you the links, you saw my channel. So I'm not like some weirdo. Like, I'm literally on YouTube. Like, you can follow the link and see who I am. What am I gonna set you up for? Like, I'm literally at this for Nancy. I'm not. Do you see me out there streaming, making all kinds of money? No, I'm not. So I think Nancy saw Tommy was watching Children in the corner and said something to him. I don't know if it was over that, but I do think that there was some money that was, and I also think they wanted something that she had that nobody knows about. Like, maybe she had a stack of, older people are, they carry cash and they have it in weird places. Like, probably, I always saw them like take a stack of cash. And and this is another vision I keep seeing, and I cannot make sense of it. So do not quote me on this. I'm pretty sure it's for Nancy, but it's coming in random, and I'm not sure. Okay. This is why I'm not sure that it's exactly a abandoned house. It might be a regular house that's being worked on. Give me 5 seconds. I gotta do something real quick. Sorry about that. I had to take care of a dog real quick. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sitting on her street like making money like a lot of other people are doing, and I'm not saying that's what they're doing it for, but I'm not doing that because that's not what this is about. Although I'm struggling over here, that's not what it's about. So, anyways, my vision was um that there's this, and remember I got a vision about a blonde woman with like a smoker's voice. Like I can't, I don't know. She's got to be blonde because I keep seeing her that way. She dyed her hair, but I keep seeing this blonde. She has her hair kind of in a ponytail in the vision, and she's kind of like feels like a smoker. Like I can see her smoking. It's almost like I'm looking behind. She's looking behind her, like I know where Nancy is, and she's in the back, like in back of their yard, it's a shed, whatever. But like it's almost like I'm in this house and I know where she is, and that's the feeling I get, and it's the weirdest vision and stuff. And like I don't know how to explain it, but I keep getting that. So I don't know where she is. She hasn't answered me all day, which is really weird. So unless she's sleeping, I mean I don't think so. When she hasn't looked at her phone, she has like a million messages for me. Well, you got to be careful. Like there's snakes and stuff out there, and coyotes and whatnot. So, and apparently, like there's an underbelly to that area, which is weird because it's an HOA area. So apparently, it's not completely as it looked at from the outside. There goes my REM pod again. It's only the temperature change, though. That's what I'm saying, Alice. It's like, do they think she's gonna get dropped off or walked out? It's just because, yeah. I mean, they're getting lots of views and lots of people are showing up, and yeah. But the thing is like I thought it was like a band, and that's what I thought. That's okay. So that's what I thought. He knew was in that area. I thought that he knew like the inner workings of like what people were talking about, like what was abandoned, what wasn't, what was being worked on, what wasn't. Like that's what he made me feel like. And then he only takes me to back to Nancy's and like, oh, this is all I know. And I'm like, what? That's not what you told me. Okay, that's not what I came here for. Like I want to be taken around to like driven around to see if I could feel things. I can't do that when I'm driving, if that makes sense. And I definitely can't do it when I'm walking a mile because I can barely breathe when I get there. All right. Um But I was interested in the house like above Nancy's because of the feeling that I got when I did the auto write, and I don't really know why. But like I said, it feels like there's a lady in the house that like keeps feeling like I know where she is, and like looking behind her like she's in the back somewhere. Like that's I keep getting that, and it's driving me crazy because I don't understand it. So I don't understand that at all. At all. Oh yeah, it was so the one of the packages I want to do is like for emotionally exhausted women. So we want to do one of those. I want to do like a healing package for those people that can't do like a private spiritual coaching sessions, and like yeah, I have lots of ideas. I just hopefully it'll help support this work. Yeah, and that's not even anywhere near here. Havasu's quite a ways away from Phoenix, isn't it? But I know a lot of people thought that Alan guy was Richard, and he just doesn't sound the same to me at all. He sounds younger. And we looked up his record, if that's who it is. Tracy's good at that. Allegedly, he does drink and has a stalking past. If it's the right guy. And he kept changing where he lived in Phoenix. So, I don't know. I don't know. There's just something about him that I was recognizing some red flags, that. And that's like, I don't understand why everybody's been listening to Richard and was giving him a platform and stuff. Like, you couldn't tell, like, he's not mentally okay. And even Tracy was like, dude, he's making the cipher fit what he wants. Like, that's not what the cipher says. The way he was talking was like, people like that can be very convincing, right? But even Chris was like, they fell for it. Like, I could feel it was somebody that had some issues. Tracy could feel it, but everybody was like believing him, and I'm like, why are you guys believing him and going off on wild goose chases? Because this guy says so. So then why didn't you fly into Nevada? So I don't understand why people are still like giving that platform unless it's for views. Like, even if you're replaying it or you're talking to him, whatever it is, like, it doesn't, and it was weird because he was like, I don't, like, I'm not trying to get attention. And I'm just like, yeah, but you're trying to get on all these platforms. What do you mean you're not trying to get attention? I don't know. I just don't understand how nobody saw the red flags to begin with him. The only thing that got me was he said 2 names that I had gotten, but that could just be because this was going to come out in the case, which is what I try to tell you guys. Sometimes when I get names, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like the person involved. Like, it could be things going on around the case. So, but no, I originally thought of contacting Sleep Intuition. He lives like in Phoenix, I think. So he doesn't actually live in Tucson, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about anybody right now, honestly. These guys, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm a psychic. I don't know if it's because I'm a woman. I don't know if it's because like other psychics have let them in different areas and it hasn't been right. I don't know if it's just they want to do their own thing. I don't know what it is, honestly. But it's been very hard to get any sort of support out here for like areas I can't go or where I don't want to go alone, or to try to find certain things out about different locations. And I don't know why that is. It's kind of like frustrating me, and it makes me wonder what like the real reasons are for being out here and working on her case, you know what I mean? Because I'm all about business. Like, that's all I'm trying to do is find answers and do what I can to help find Nancy. And I get some support doing it, but I don't get the kind of support they do. And I don't know what their motives are. Like, you know what I mean? Because like, it's weird. You would think if you really want to find, like, why wouldn't you like be in a partnership with someone that you guys could bounce off of each other, figure things out. You might know things that she doesn't. She might know things that you don't. She might be able to say some things by talking to you that helps the situation. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why anybody wouldn't want that if they were in this for the right motives. It's weird to me. Also, again, I'm very picky about who I work with because, as you know, the past I have not had good luck with people. So I tend to try to stay and do things by myself. But I always feel like teamwork sometimes is helpful if, people can bounce off of each other. I don't know. It's weird to me. And frustrating. Because I feel like I'd get farther if I could have somebody that I could, discuss things with, discuss areas with, discuss people with, or whatever from people out here. I don't know. Like, it's weird. mean, you guys feel what I'm saying? You feel me? You feel me? No, I know. That's why I said, like, I don't push it, right? And I'm very picky of who I want to talk to. But what I'm not understanding is why wouldn't you want to work with someone that could be beneficial? That it could be beneficial in finding Nancy. Do you know what I mean? Like, psychics are just a tool. We're not God. We're not police. We can't tell you everything, but sometimes we're a tool like anything else, with puzzle pieces. So I just feel like if your motives are cool and you're in this for the right reasons, there's absolutely no reason to not want to, like, bounce off one another and have some sort of partnership with it. Because again, I could ask them things. I could be describing something that I can't find on a map. Maybe they can find it. I don't know. That was my thought, but never mind, probably. So, and this is not talk bad about anybody. I'm not saying that at all. Um, I just, and maybe it's just me, but I don't like the way that I was portrayed on that live at all. I just don't. Not for somebody that seemed very open to talk to me and everything I was saying and agreed with everything I was saying. Like, why couldn't we get in my car and drive around? Like, I don't get that. It's weird. What am I going to do to you? Like, you're a 6 foot tall man and I'm a 5 foot tall little woman with a YouTube. Like, what? Like, I bring my dog for protection. What am I going to do? Am I going to kidnap you? Am I going to set you up for what? It's just weird. If I was a guy, it'd be different. But I'm not. So that's weird to me. Like, and you can find out who I am just by looking at my channel. Hello. Hello. Do some research. Do some research. And I did reach out to Ted because Tracy said it would be funny for you guys. But the Ted that's out there, not the other Ted. So she thought it would be funny. So I did do that, but he never replied. So 85857 didn't reply either, which is fine because he's one of JLR's people, and you know how I feel about that. So yeah, but that's an SD. That's in San Diego. How did that fire work out, by the way? Huh. It's weird. It was supposed to be raining right now. I'm kind of glad it's not, but. Cheyenne, don't. She just randomly barks out of nowhere sometimes. It's very odd. Of course, I was having a sleep apnea thing the other evening, and I woke up coughing, and she was like, she's always like right there. Anytime I clear my throat or cough, she doesn't like it. So I don't know if it's trauma from watching me do it, like when I sleep, and then the REM pod started going off when I woke up. It was weird. Oh, I gotta tell a funny. Well, it's kind of a funny story from Trista last night. I don't know if she's still in here. So Trista has her REM pod on, and she's always saying, like, send my ghosty friends over there. And it's interesting because every time I have my REM pod off or the batteries are dead or something, hers will go off if they need something. It's very weird. So of course I wasn't here last night. I was at my mom's. The batteries were dead in it anyways, and I was driving home. Well, I was like getting tired. I always get tired on that road because it's super freaking dark. And my eyes, like, dude, I don't know if you guys ever have this thing where like your eyes like kind of basically fall asleep while you're still awake. So I was like having that hard time because Tracy was asleep because it was late. And all of a sudden Trista texts me and she's like, my REM pod's going off. Do you have yours like off or something? And I was like, I'm actually not home. I'm driving. And she's like, oh, they woke me up with the REM pod. And so I was checking and I was like, they probably woke you up because I'm like having a hard time staying awake. So it was interesting. I think that they went to her, made her REM pod go off, woke her up so that she would contact me. So I kind of wake up because once I went to the gas station, it stopped. Once I was at the gas station and out of the car, It stopped. So we thought that was kind of cool. They were being like protective or looking out for me and going to my friend to like, you know, get a hold of me to make sure I'm okay. I think, yeah, they have very protective spirits. It's very cool. So, whenever they want to get a hold of me, they'll go to her if my REM pod's off, and she'll message me. But that's what happened last night. Is they started making it go off and woke her up, and she messaged me, and then it helped me get to where I needed to go. Like it woke me up enough, because I was talking to someone. So it stopped once I got to the gas station, I guess. I mean, I don't know, Alice. Honestly, like I'm not trying to like talk crap or have assumptions or whatever. Like I said, it's just I don't know, it's odd to me. But I've seen him work with other psychics, so it's weird. I mean, the same thing with Jim in the beginning. Like, he didn't want to talk to me, but he's talking to someone else. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, dude. Like, I don't know what to say. Just go ahead and go off on your adventures. Um, but it, you know, so yeah, she's like, hers go off rarely, so it was straight. It went on for a long time, so hers doesn't go off a lot. And is it no justice? No justice. No. 1 second. Sorry, darn dogs. Uh, I think I messaged Rochelle around 3:30 my time, and I had laid down in my bed and tried to go back to sleep before she got woke up again by the REM pod, and it went off. It was see, I was driving back from mom's like at 2, I think, because I got there late because I had to take Neptune to Tucson, and so I went to go see her because I was out and about, and so I didn't leave her house until 2, and yeah, so it was about 2 o'clock in the morning or something. And they woke her up with the REM pod because I was falling asleep at the wheel. That's what I think. I think they knew something I didn't. But for some reason, when she messaged me, like it woke me up. It was weird. So thankful I have protective spirits that like to go to my friends and tell them, "Hey, Rochelle needs you. We have an issue." So that's pretty neat. That's why, like I said, they're protective, and they're also very straightforward and helpful in cases. Like, you know, they give me a lot of straightforward answers. So, like when I ask, is she at her house or close? And they say close, like they answered that close. So that tells me she's not far. And I always feel like when I go too far, I'm leaving her. So even though Rita Road was very remote, you can put a body out there. I don't think that just seems like it's too far. Oh, and the other thing is that Noah guy lives by not far from the racetrack. Well, like I said, I'm trying to me and Tracy are trying to do a nonprofit so that we can get grants and like so people can have like donate and have tax write-offs and things like that, and it's supposed to so we can get them cadaver dog trained because no one wants to help us now. So, we decided to trademark the name and try to see if we could get that, but I don't unfortunately have the money to have it set up yet. So, I might not be driving pretty soon. So, I mean, most people were sleeping waterfall, but yeah, she keeps her REM pod on, kind of like I do. So, they woke her up with it, and so I thought it was kind of cool. Oh, you don't have to thank me, girl. It's my path, and it's a hard one. That's why I say, like, anyway, like, anybody can support if something helps me and it helps you. If it's like, the digital products or whatever, or it's just liking or commenting, all that's really helpful to the channel. Yeah, Trista was like, your little ghosties are protective. They are. They're cool. They're making the REM pod go off this morning too, and I was trying to think of what I was doing. I was having weird dreams. And it was doing the thing where it like screams, but it's weird because I just put in new batteries, so it shouldn't be screaming like that. All the lights shouldn't be going off at once like it was. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty awesome. I do have spirits looking out for me. Apparently, it's not my time to leave. So, and I think they've been going off a little bit more because, I've been having kind of a tough time. So I think that's what's been happening with Trista's REM pod going off a little bit more than usual. I had to guess. I don't know. You should be able to. I'm not sure about, like, you should be able to hype lives, right? I thought so because it was like all the lights were going off, and I'm like, but I didn't know if I was setting it, like my energy was shutting it off because it was, I don't know, it was just weird, but it like all went off and was screaming, and usually it does that when the battery dies. So I'm like, what the heck? So I turned it off and turned it back on because I thought maybe the antenna was too loose or something. Oh, maybe you can do it after it's over because it for some reason it's not letting me monetize it either while it's live. So I don't know. But people did want the pet grief bundle, so that's coming up. That's gonna be a healing bundle with meditations as well, but it's also gonna give you, it's like a healing guide. So I have that coming up. I'm gonna do it for people too, and then I don't know. I have a lot of different things, but I just hope that I'm putting energy into this, that it can be like help you and help me. Usually prior to your first comment you make. So after it's ended or whatever, I'm gonna have to go anyways because I need to go do this spiritual coaching lesson for one more so I can finish my test tonight. I want to get it done so I can finish my test so I could get certified so I can, because dude, I had all my answers written for my questions, and it got deleted, so I'm gonna have to retake it. I'm not happy about that at all because I had everything done. So it's been a little bit since I practiced, so I'm hoping that hold on. But I'm actually feeling super tired because I actually didn't get much sleep. I didn't get to bed till 6 with all that stuff that was going on TikTok. Oh my gosh, you guys! Like, I was freaking out. I was like, who do I contact? I can't contact authorities. I can't contact FBI. So like I reached out to like a domestic violence thing, like through chat, like through text. And they were like saying, they were basically telling me like, don't report it because it could cause problems, blah blah blah. I'm like, what, are you kidding me? Like, I'm just supposed to ignore this right now? Like, she was literally on a live in front of 700 people. Pretty sure he's expecting someone to show up. So yeah, you can only hype so many per day. Yes, you can Google the hyping feature and see what's allowed, because I don't really know much about it, but I appreciate it. So then I didn't get to bed till like 6:30 or 7 or something, because I was like, who do I contact? And then when I started back on live, I was like, well, I guess she's okay, but this is like, I was like, I guess I'll let it go. And I'm sure somebody else reported it. I messaged her, she never responded, but it was in the message request. So I don't know. I kind of made a video on TikTok without putting her out there or anything, just the situation, and that I don't know. But that was a stressful situation for me. It was very triggering, and I felt very helpless, and knowing what she was going through possibly was getting to me really badly, because I work true crime. So my mind goes to the worst case scenario, Oh, well, okay. I mean, if you haven't hyped anybody else, I don't see why you wouldn't have a hype. So it should be there. These little hairs are driving me crazy. I'm freaking burning up right now. Yeah, I tried. I did put out like a PSA, Yeah, I gotta do one more like practice session, and like tonight I want to do that, and then I want to take the test and get certified, and then I want to skip to past life regression. So keep an eye out for that, because I'm gonna be learning that. I want to try to get through that pretty fast, because I know people are interested in it, but I'm trying to do 50 things at once. And right now I have to unfortunately focus on income. And I've looked for a job. I had an interview and never heard back. Like I have to try to focus on like growing this, because I can't focus on like finding anything new right now. I don't even have time to wait for 2 weeks for that. You know what I mean? Like, everything's behind now. So can't even tell you guys how bad, like how much I've fought to continue doing this and even be here today. So yeah, put out positive vibes for me, because I've tried to change my mindset. I'm working on that. I am working on just trying to come up with anything I can to keep doing this and survive. That's it. That's where I'm at right now. And unfortunately, TikTok is so saturated, but I'm like, I need new clients. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So yeah, and you get yours for. I'm gonna do yours for free, Trista. You'll be a practice one. You'll be a guinea pig, because I owe you anyways, and then I'll still do that channeling. I still gotta do all that shit too. I still owe people stuff. I haven't had no energy. I'm tired. Even like the editing EVPs takes me hours. I think the night that I edited the EVP from that interview, it took me like I was like, why am I sitting here editing this 11 o'clock at night? I was curious what they said. So, that even takes me hours to make sure I get rid of all like the garbage and stuff, like the stuff you can't understand. So that even takes me hours to do that, you know. It is, Alice. It is, because I get triggered, because I've been there. I understand it. I recognize trauma bonds now. Now that I have a word for it and a name for it, and I understand it from going through the spiritual coaching, I understand what trauma bonds are now, and it's also helping me to understand it in cases too. So unfortunately, that's what she's in, and those are really hard to break, because trauma bonds literally change our neural pathways with neuroplasticity. So It literally, narcissistic abuse can change our brains. It can rewire our brains to make us think, this is normal, we're stuck, whatever. So that's why women don't leave, is they get their brain changed, and then there's lots of different reasons, but you're not alone. Yeah, no, well, the thing is I see mediums on YouTube or TikTok doing just fine. I see them doing just fine. I see them scheduled out for 5 months. I see them having reading after reading, like not all of them, but some of them. So, when you go live for 5 hours and you have 7 people show up, it's kind of disheartening, especially when you've been doing this for so long, if that makes sense. So I've been doing this for 13 and a half years. I feel like things should be kind of level at least. I don't expect to be famous or anything, but I don't expect to be worse off than I was a couple years ago, especially after the Idaho 4 thing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's so saturated now that it's hard. So, there's authenticity, there's the TikTok psychics, and then there's, the ones that I don't know what they do. They perform. So there's all different kinds, and people like them for all different reasons. What will be wild? Waterfall, what do you mean? Like, I need to go live tonight, and I don't think I have the energy. Kimmy, I don't know. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm about to lose my car. Like, of course they're screwing me. I've got to find a lawyer for that. But like, things are not. I don't know. I don't know. I put myself out there. That's the thing too. Is I'll have people say I'm gonna schedule. Right. I was live one night and I had like 3 people say I'm gonna schedule. I'm gonna join the group, and nobody did. Look, don't tell me you're gonna schedule if you're not gonna schedule. That's it. You don't have to say anything. It's fine. You don't want to schedule, then don't schedule. But don't tell me you're going to schedule or join the group and then don't do it. You know what I mean? I hope so, Waterfall. I hope so. I hope, because that's why I want to take these classes. I want to offer more services. I'm trying to upgrade my business and upgrade my knowledge and all of that, so that I can offer more, so that I can get myself out of a hole. I don't know. Cuz I'm in a big hole. I'm in a big hole between Violet's vet bills, her heart medicine that I can't. Her heart medicine is what's killing me right now, because it's $30 for 10 days, but you can get it for cheaper if you buy it for a month at a time. But the problem is I can't get the month before I finish the week, 2 weeks worth. So, yeah. And that's the thing too. It can take a lot of counseling. And I think once people understand you're in a trauma bond, and it takes a lot. Like, I didn't really go to counseling for mine. I still haven't really talked about everything I've been through. I wrote a book about it to try to help others. Like, I understood it from a spiritual perspective, but now I understand like the human terminology for it. Now I understand the human, like what it was like. But mine was a little different because honestly, he was normal unless he was under the influence of something. So, that's the only way. Like, it wasn't all the time. You know what I mean? Like, he was a normal person unless he was under the influence. Was under the influence of something, or like he'd be paranoid and stuff. So it was kind of different in that, is that when he was sober, he was totally perfect, like normal person. There was no problems, there was no gaslighting, there was no emotional, there was none of that. It was only when he was under the influence of something, which eventually became all the time. So, is that making an excuse? No, but I do understand from a spiritual perspective why we were in that situation. But now I have kind of an understanding of the trauma bonds, and why people stay, and how it literally changes our brain. So you have to get rewired. So once you're in a trauma bond and you go through these situations, your brain gets rewired to the way that they basically brainwash you and rewire your brain from things that they say and do. And so it has to be rewired. You have to rewire it, and it has to because it literally will create new neural pathways. It's wild. I never realized that before, but apparently that's why people say is that they're almost like brainwashed, and their brain is like literally changed to think that, you know, it's okay. So anyways, I wanted to tell you those wild things today. It was a lot last couple days figuring out about the golf course dream and where that he lived there, and then being led over there. Really crazy. And that is very remote area. Who knows what's out there, honestly, off of Rita Road. Anyways, I have to go and do this. I'm like so tired all of a sudden. This live, just like, I don't know why it exhausted me, but it did. But now I have to go here in just a couple of minutes, and it's just my story of what happened to me with my twin flame, and basically the situation I just told you and how I got my gifts. It's on my Linktree. It's R&R Love a Twin Flame Story. It's on Amazon. It's like $11.11 for the paperback. So it's basically how I opened up to doing this and what I went through for the most part. It's got 5-star reviews all over it. So check it out. Check out the reviews. You can find it through the Linktree, but you can just go to Amazon, put in R&R Love a Twin Flame Story, and it'll pop up. I wrote it I don't know, a while ago. When did I write it? I wrote it to help people understand from a spiritual perspective. Now that I understand from a human perspective, then it's kind of different. I haven't really read it, so not in a long time. But yeah, Waterfall says it's a good book. She got it a long time ago. I was actually supposed to have it put out by a publisher, and I ended up paying them like the first part and not being able to pay the rest, so it never happened. Well, yeah, because people learn by seeing. So, you know. But yeah, there is an open your intuition mini thing. It like tells you how to kind of start opening your gifts and opening your intuition. It's just a mini course. I might do a bigger course later. I've asked people have asked me if I teach, and I just don't have time to teach classes, but I might do a course. If anybody's interested in that, you know, let me know in the comments. So I do have that mini course out now. I do have the soul reset, and I do have a couple meditations. There's a meet your guide meditation, clearing your chakras and all of that. And then I'm going to work again on the full healing from pet loss, and then I'll do one for humans, and then so on, so on. So, and I'm going to take some of the knowledge that I'm learning from my class and kind of add that in there. There'll be a healing one with like how to kind of heal yourself. I'm going to do that. So I'm working on those types of digital products for you guys, because I realized, like, that's why I started taking this class, because I realized that, yes, well, readings are wonderful and they give great healing. Sometimes people need deeper healing. Sometimes they need a spiritual coach. Sometimes they need healing. So eventually I might like offer a full package on it, with past life regression, healing, spiritual coaching, and a mediumship reading. I might do that eventually, but I do want to offer something that's more affordable, that's like in like a digital thing for people too eventually. I can start working on that actually when I'm done with my certification, at least for some of it. So I do have ideas. And there's another class I want to take that's not even a spiritual thing, but if I can get it going, it would be really good for me. So just being able to afford that. Yeah. So, anybody have any questions about anything? I don't know if you guys would like lives like this more often, if I can. I'm not sure what if you guys like this. I mean, we had quite a bit for a little bit more than we've had in a while. So I don't know if this is like something that um thanks, Trista. I mean, I need to do something different. I just because that's why I was telling Tracy, I'm like, I'm killing myself on lives. Like, I am using all this energy and I'm still treading water because I'm trying to make things affordable because I know things are shit right now and I don't feel like anybody's going to get a reading if it's not affordable. But yet I see other mediums charging way more. So I'm also trying to be strong with my boundaries and not do too long of readings and try to watch my energy, but still like I get drained really easy sometimes. Like I'm not a young person. I'm not young anymore. Um and so I'm trying not to burn myself out just doing readings or readings or readings or readings. Like I'm trying to make something passive so that I can focus on my true crime and it helps you guys. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm trying to do so that I'm not just doing readings all the time because I'm getting burnt out and I'm getting exhausted and then I don't have time to put out cases. So I'm trying to come off with something that's more passive so I have time to catch up on things that I owe people and do my true crime and all of that because right now I'm too exhausted to do anything that I want to do. So I'm trying not to just like wear myself out on TikTok all the time because I'll go for 5 hours and sometimes I do a lot of readings and sometimes I sit there and don't get any readings and then when I get off I start crying about what a failure I am. So when you don't have anybody show up to your reading, when you've been doing this as long as I have and you don't have anybody show up to your lives and get readings, like it's very disheartening. And again, I understand like it's hard for everybody, but then you go to other lives and you see 200-300 people there and people getting readings left and right and it just is like I don't know, it's disheartening to me. Like I start questioning, should I do this? You know what am I still supposed to do this? Why do I feel irrelevant? Why do I not feel like I'm being supportive? Why do I feel like no one wants to show up in the lives? And even then when I am in the lives, like people aren't liking and gifting like I see in other lives. So I don't it gets hard on my nervous system when I get off of a 5 hour live and still wondering how I'm going to, take care of things. So, and I understand that, like I said, it's hard. I get it. I'm not saying that my situation is special or more special than anybody else's. I'm not saying that. But I see others that have just been not doing this for this long and are doing wonderful over there. And I just say, I'm like, am I boring? Like, I don't get it. Am I boring? Maybe. I don't know. I can't get people to come in the live and stay in the live over there, which I know it's a scrolling app, right? But so, and then you guys only get so many readings, and sometimes you guys don't need readings. So that's why I try to go over there because it's like new people, but it's not doing me much good. So I don't know. Anyways, I wanted to advance my knowledge so that I could offer more. I'm not sure. You like the ketchup live? Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if you guys like want more of these or not. And it could be fun, like having like I said, to have Tracy on here or to have people like come up and ask questions or talk about things. Like we could always do that too if you guys want. And like tell me what you guys want. Like I obviously know that you guys want cases, and I know there's people, but like I'm only one person, like I said. And with cases, I kind of go where I'm led. So people I'm not getting donations for cases like I have to, like I tell people, it's not like a 20-minute thing. When we're working cases, sometimes it's days, sometimes it's hours, sometimes it's weeks, sometimes it's years, sometimes it's months. It just depends on the case, honestly. Shoot, I think I hear thunder. So I guess I should go take care of this if it doesn't start raining in the middle of it. So I guess I will. That's just where I'm at. I'm just being honest about where my head is and what's going on so that you guys know as a community. Again, it's not me bitching or anything like that. This is just where I'm at. And it always seems to come up, and I don't want it to come up anymore because you guys don't need to know my problems and my stresses, right? I will try to. Like I said, I'm only one person. A lot of the times I'm doing lives, like I have to make money to survive. So that's why I'm on TikTok. So it just depends. You know, just depends on where I'm at. I'll do the best that I can. Okay. So I guess I better go get that done. I'm hoping it doesn't start like storming right now. I think it's supposed to. I don't know. Oh, lightning nearby, it says. Wonderful. So crap. Okay, I might have to let the dogs in before this situation. Anyways, all right, guys. So I will see you guys soon. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Know that I appreciate you as a community. Keep an eye on the community page for those things that I'm offering. Again, if you want to join the circle, it is a chance to get a reading of your choice and also visit the Akashic Records. It is June 20th. We moved it out. I should have actually moved a little bit longer because of Neptune's appointment, but that's okay. So I did push it out to June 20th at 6. If anybody wants to join that, you do get, again, your choice of a reading. I have 2 people in that, so I need 8 more for a full circle, or even half a circle would be great. I wasn't going to do anymore, so for me to decide to do it was, and Wine and Crime is coming up on the 6th. I always get the same people join that because they love it so much. So if you want to join Wine and Crime, just email me. It's $10 cover charge. I actually need to post about it, and I keep forgetting because I think we have. Trista, are you coming to that or no? I know you said maybe, but I know you said maybe you were coming to that, but I don't know if you are or not. It's not the right notebook. Hold on, let me see how many people I have for Wine and Crime. But basically, we could just get together, have fun. You don't have to drink wine. Only if you want to. You can do whatever you want. And we talk about true crime. Sometimes we run the EVP. So I have one. I don't know. Tracy always comes. So 1, 2, 3. Trista, I put you down. So I don't know if you're coming or not. But 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We have 4 people. 5 with Trista, including, and then me. So 6 or 5. So I could use, 4 or 5 more people if you guys want. Oh, are you coming on the 6th? 6. So I can have 4 more, I think 4 or 5 more people if anybody wants to join that. That is the 6th. That's 6:30. Again, we just let loose. It's just a fun remote get together, like a girls' night, but remotely. We play music, we do whatever. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, if you're interested in that, I've had all the people that are joining now have been to all of them because they enjoy it so much. They love it. So something to think about if you want to get together, let your hair down, be yourself, talk about true crime, hang out with a bunch of fun girls. That's what we do. Some people get wasted. We won't say any names. Actually, she's like, Trista, she said she hadn't even drank in a while, so that was fun though. She was funny. But yep, that's what we do. It's a good time. So I always have the same people because they enjoy it. But if you'd like to join, I've got like 4 or 5 more places, so just email me. Yep, it's a good remote hangout, like a good remote girls' night. So all right. All right. I appreciate you guys. I'm actually not feeling good. I don't even know if I'm gonna get this done tonight. Thank you. And I'll see you guys soon. Okay.